She would often have the ability to speak her way out of situations, but her vocal cords were overwhelmed by stone. Her entire body frozen in place with wings edging out of her back. Fossilized in time, perpetually motionless and afraid, her world was changed forever, never to return to the life she was leading before. There are timelines out there in which she would be freed from the curse almost immediately, or she would find a way to break free and find her fam with ease. This was not one of those timelines. For this time, there is no way out for the Doctor. For this time, it'll take more than talking and a half-assed plan to get out of this one. The process used to recall the Doctor was certainly painful. Every moment for a Time Lord would take forever, as the process would require quantum locking a time-sensitive being, and thus they could feel every millisecond, as if it were taking decades for the stone to consume them. Some say this is why Time Lords make for such efficient, lonely assassins. Not only do they take forever to die, but as a reaping angel, their regeneration energy is constantly ensuring the subject's survival within the stone. The potential energy they feast upon from their victims would fuel said regeneration energy, and in a way, heal them. Starvation leads to an angel losing its form. This could take decades. The Doctor knew that this wasn't an option, especially if they wanted to escape with their mind and Time Lord body intact. Her knowledge was locked within her mind, much like the angel that lured her into this trap initially. This was by design, as her now employers aren't very happy with her delving into her secret history. Her memories were hidden within a dark void that she often found herself falling into, as her screams echo throughout her mind. Screams that will never be heard, as she tries to scream again and again and again. Forever screaming for her precious fam to rescue her as she remains quantum locked in place for all eternity. Her fellow angels would often speak to her, plague her mind and torment her. It was all a game to them, a way of passing the time before they are deployed once again. They could sense that she is a ticking time bomb, ready to embrace her new destiny that was now embedded within her system. It wouldn't be long before she would have to succumb to the curse of the lonely assassin, one that many of her fellow disgraced renegades and division operatives have endured. She would be consumed by her rage, her everlasting hunger, and a sadistic cruelty growing within her that would wipe out any morals she once cherished. Morals that once defined who she was. The perfect agent for the division. Much like the angels, the division understood that the Doctor would be difficult to control, that it would take destroying the very foundations of who she is and crafting what remains into the perfect division operative. The division now has the Doctor where and when they need her, a valuable asset in a long game. A long game that few knew about. A game that few can comprehend. A game with many pawns for the division to toy with, and command in any way they please. Placed in strategic locations throughout time and space. Whether that be the Reaping Angels of old, the Vogons, who they guide in their war effort against the Cybermen in return for gold. Operatives hidden within the Trickster Brigade, intent on gathering their secrets. The last surviving Gorgons who waged a war they couldn't possibly win. The Moxa Balhoon and his impressive underground network, the impossible alliance that took the Pandorica, were all enrolled in the division, and were hired by the Kovarian chapter in a deal between the two parties. The CIA, in which they were manipulated numerous times into sending division operatives into the Doctor's timeline, such as when one operative tasked the Doctor with preventing the creation of the Daleks themselves. And it is unknown to even the majority of high-ranking Time Lords just how many pawns the division has, had, and will have. Pawns that were not only just living creatures and soldiers, but strategically placed planets, years, living time, unfathomable weapons of mass destruction, moments in time, moments in space, the big bad wolf hiding in the darkness beyond comprehension, tamed by the division. Nothing was sacred. The very concept of nothing belonged to the division. There was always one key figure they had their eye on, an oncoming storm that now stood within a horde of angels as one there. The division as an agency has become more than what it originally was. It is an agency that has exceeded its origin point of being based solely on Gallifrey. The division has agents and allies everywhere and everywhere, but now they have the ultimate trophy. A fugitive that escaped them long ago was now within their grasp. A fugitive that helped end the dark times. A fugitive that is no longer a fugitive, but works for the division once again. A doctor encased in stone, weeping behind her hands until the end of time.